Hey, welcome to Interstate 20 between Jackson, Mississippi and Meridian. Making my way up towards Tuscaloosa. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I'm doing something up this way. Hey, I want to do a quick chat with you folks that are interested in Oakley. This is primarily for you people interested in Oakley. If you're not, and you're already here at Oakley and you just want to listen to something and me blabber on, cool. If you want to click off, fine. Whatever you want to do. But I want to talk to you folks about a few things. And this is something that's came up to me recently multiple times. People that want to make the change and come over, but they're just afraid to make the jump. You know, there is a lot of risk associated with this. Buying a truck, becoming an owner-operator, and coming over to Oakley and getting on board. Now, the risk basically is that you own that truck, and we know trucks anymore, they could have issues, etc. You know, so you could have things associated with that create a potential pitfall. That's basically about the only risk, your health and that truck. Either one of those breaking. As far as Oakley, there's really no risk here. And, you know, I just tell people this. And here's what I want to share with you to ask yourself some questions. First and foremost, is it something that you've always wanted to do? Or that you've always thought, you know, I could do that. And it's been a goal of yours. If you answer yes to that question, then Oakley might be a good fit for you. It might be something to look at. If you answer no, I wouldn't do it, obviously. If you have a company job, and you're sick and tired of them telling you when you can have a day off or how many days you can have off, if you're sick and tired of fighting a seniority board to get some vacation like I used to have to do, even when I had seniority, I had a hard time getting days when I wanted them because I used my last week of vacation in single days, and I would try to take a vacation day, even schedule it out a few weeks. Oh, can't let you have that day off. Got too many people off. Or, got to have you take off Tuesday through Thursday. Can't have a Monday or a Friday. Sorry. Well, why do I even have these? I got sick of that. If you're in that same position where you have no freedom of your schedule, then becoming an owner-operator and coming to Oakley may be a good fit for you. Because over here, we're not asking for time off. We're not asking when we can go home. You know, we are letting our dispatch team know in advance when we want to be home and when we're coming back out. And what you generally get from them is, okay, sounds good. I've never had an issue in right at 3 years. My 3-year anniversary is coming up here in about a week. I've never had an issue with that. If you want that flexibility in your schedule to determine when you're going to be off and what time you're going to spend with your family, well, buying a truck and coming over to Oakley may be a good choice for you. Your income. If you're making $120,000 a year gross, and by the time you factor everything in, you're only netting $70,000 to $80,000 because the government and your company is taking everything from you. And I say your government, I'm talking about taxation. And you look at your W-2 at the end of the year, or you look at your pay stub, and you think to yourself, man, this is crazy. Look at what I'm paying in taxes, because I used to do that all the time. Well, if you say that to yourself, Oakley may be a good fit for you. Purchasing a truck, becoming an independent contractor, and coming over here on board with us might work out just great. Why? Well, let's talk about some money. That's what everybody likes to talk about. What you're going to find is that you're going to gross, I say $260,000, between $250 and $270 right now is where it's at on the end dump side of the house over here at Oakley. That's going home every weekend. Generally 5,000 gross to 5,500 gross a week, roughly, is where you'll be. 6,000 in the 5,000 to 6,000 range, but I always like to be conservative. But I'll just say 250 to 270, so we'll use 260,000 as an average number for gross income. Oakley takes fuel, death, and Oakley settlement deductions off of your gross. My settlement deductions, including all my truck insurances, my base plate, everything, is right around $300 a week. Your net over here generally averages 70% of your gross. So if you guys take 260,000 and you multiply that times 0.7, that's going to give you a number. And I haven't done that number yet, so I'm actually going to do it right now. 260 times 0.7. That's $182,000. That's what that comes up to. Now that is your net. Off of your net comes all of your other expenses. Your truck payment, your maintenance, your taxes, obviously all of your household bills, and things of that nature. I tell people that a good number for all of that is between $6,000 and $7,000 a month. That's a good number for that. It's been my average. It's been the average of a lot of people that I've talked to. So I always try to go with that figure. So we'll say that's $6,500. Well, $6,500 times 12 is $78,000. So all of your truck expenses and taxes are going to put you at $78,000. That means that you could estimate a net income to you and your family after taxes, after truck expenses, after everything. Basically, what your W-2 job would deposit into your account every Friday, your yearly net over here would be between $100,000 and $105,000 a year. Used to be more than that, but then Biden got elected. Nobody's making that now, at least not that I know of. If you are, man, that's awesome. Good for you. Especially going home every weekend. But moving on from that, you're going to be about $100,000 to $105,000. That would give your family a net increase annually of roughly $30,000 a year if you chose to go independent and come over. One of the biggest reasons for that is you're definitely lowering your tax burden with all of your deductions. And that is one of the keys to making that extra net income. You know, the best way to beat the tax man legally is to start a business and start to incorporate all of those business deductions that you can claim by law to reduce your overall tax liability, thereby putting more money back into your pocket at the end of the year. So your average net would be right around $100,000 to $105,000 per year. If you stayed out a few weeks at a time, you would do better than that. I would say probably to the tune of about $10,000 to $20,000 better per year.
Way station in 20 miles.
But those numbers that I just gave you are going home every weekend. If that sounds appealing to you, and you'd be like, yeah, you know what? I'd kind of like to have that raise. Well, then purchasing a truck and coming over to Oakley may be a good fit for you. If any of this sounds interesting and you'd like to discuss it, you guys can reach out to me at Jimmysroadlyfe, L-Y-F-E, it's in the description below, at gmail.com. And I'll be happy to discuss this with you. Okay? Simple as that. And on another note, remember, John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him would not perish, but have everlasting life. Jesus died for us. He loves you. If you don't know him as your Savior, look into that. We'll catch y'all down the road. God bless you. Reach out to me again, Jimmysroadlyfe, LYFE @gmail.com. If you're interested in Oakley, be happy to help you. Take care. Bye.